Longshort says, wow, James finds bullets in a crib instead of a baby. Makes you think.
Think that Americans love bullets. And they treat them like they're children.
Gosh, where'd I find that hole, though? Was that
We
in
found,
203?
and earlier we found a coin in a bassinet. Makes you think. Americans love money. Treats them like they're children.
It does make me think.
Makes you think.
Make you think. No!
That sucks.
Oh, hey, here is a difference between the remake and the original. Remember what, or maybe I'm thinking of Silent Hill 4, or it could have been both of them. There was like no way to load, so like
no way to load.
We'd have to like shut off the whole game to reload a save file, but we also wouldn't want to do that because it would fuck up our recording device.
Right, we'd have to stop the recording and start it again.
Yeah.
Yes, I do. How far back are we?
We just have to find that hole I hacked in the wall.
Found it.
Bada bing.
So talk to me about the clock. I was looking at that list for a while because I really care about it.
We need to find clock hands to put on the clock.
Have we found any yet?
No.
Okay. I know that there's a bug in here.
Maybe I need to take the bullets first. Yep. Fuck you. Newt, get away, get away!
Ooh, very
Nailed it.
close. Very close. Good job.
I literally nailed it.
Yeah.
Because there's nails in the 2x4.
Nice rug.
There's no nails in the 2x4 in the first one. It was just a 2x4. And also, neither games actually featured 2x4s, but the first one said it did, which was a lie.
What do you mean it said it did?
Like, it literally called it a 2x4, but it was clearly not 2x4.
How could you tell?
Because 2x4s are like, they're much longer in one direction. Because they're twice as long in one direction.
Well, there's 3 directions.
Rip to the fucking guy from One Direction who just died. Wow, we're all very sad.
Yeah, I've been crying every day.
That guy whose name we all remember. Liam, of course. I'm remembering it on my own. No one had to tell me.
Did it not feature? How do you know it wasn't 2 inches by 4 inches?
Because it was just like very square.
Okay. I mean, maybe I'm just misremembering it. Silent Hill 2 2x4.
This actually is. Is this like the wood looks way? It looks like skinnier on the bottom. Am I crazy?
This is like
hey,
like a window frame.
Okay, something worse about the remake. Okay, in the original, I could just turn James around any fucking direction I want because of the extremely good and innovative tank controls. And here, I have to look at his back. I have to keep spinning in a circle just to look at my goddamn wood plank. Fucking failed society. Fucking backwards progress. Fucking video games suck.
Video games do suck. I've been playing a game that I don't think is that good.
Oh, yeah?
Been playing Atlas's Metaphor Refantazio.
Oh, wow. That's interesting because, of course, I've only heard great things about it, but I have continuously said to myself, that doesn't sound that good.
Yeah, it is to be so obviously worse than Persona 5 Royal in almost every way.
Wow.
There's a couple notable changes to the way that combat works that I think is nice, especially like when you're when you're leveled up enough, you could just like
fucking. I'm trying to run, but I'm fucking up.
It's right there. It's right there. It's next to you.
I don't know where it is.
It's right there.
Ah, fuck.
This guy's got increased range.
Oh, god damn it. Bullshit.
Oh, you dodged. It wasn't bullshit. You dodged.
No, what was bullshit? The thing that was bullshit was I pulled the trigger to swing my plank, and he turned and swung it at this weak wall instead of the enemy.
Oh.
And that sucked.
You can basically, action RPG kill weak enemies in the overworld once you've like leveled up a certain amount past them.
Huh.
That's an innovation that I like. Swing your sword and kill the mobs, not a big deal. But yeah, in every it is like, okay.
This is kind of like a weirdo dance move. This is how like James would dance.
Because he's a weirdo.
This is James dancing.
Yeah. He dances so weird because he's supposed to be weird.
He's supposed to be weird, yeah.
He's a normal guy,
extremely
never
normal
danced.
weird guy, or an
he's
extremely
just a regular weird guy.
He's either the most normal weird guy or the weirdest normal guy.
He's Schrodinger's weird.
Ooh, hey.
He's simultaneously weird and not weird.
Hey, you remember that moment from those two moments from the first Silent Hill?
No.
There was a locker room in the school, and we go up to one of the lockers, and a kitty pops out, and it's like, oh, kitty! And then it ran out of the door, and then we heard the sounds of a monster horribly killing and eating the cat, probably eating.
And why? What about what we were doing would have made me remember that?
Well, it happened in Silent Hill.
So you think out of all of the things that happened in Silent Hill, you should remember those two moments from Silent Hill 1?
Hang on now. But the other moment is that you go back to the same locker room in the other world, and there's nothing inside the locker except blood. Because Schrodinger's cat, it was alive in one world and dead in the other world.
Oh, wow. Okay. No, I didn't remember that.
Smart ass.
Okay, hey, you did a great job of explaining why it made sense.
Thank you. That's all I've ever wanted. Just to be thanked by Keith.
Thank you.
Wow, it happened again. Oh my god.
Metaphor. Hey, thank you for noticing.
Greatest day of my life.
It positions itself explicitly as a game about politics, like it literally is a game about politics.
That's what makes it sound really bad to me. I'm like, I don't trust game developers with being about good politics.
Of a baby.
Yeah,
it has the politics of a 4th grade civics class.
Like the politics of the Persona team, perhaps.
The politics of the Persona team. And the funny thing is that, by the end of Persona 5 Royal, they've burnt a lot of the goodwill that the game has politically, but Persona 5 Royal spends most of the time having much more interesting politics than Metaphor does. Like, Metaphor Refantazio, it's basically like the version of democracy that you learn about in elementary school. That is like what the game is about.
Of course, I loved Fire Emblem Three Houses, but the most disappointing thing about that was that like the main guy on Yellow Team, the Golden Deer, I believe.
Yeah.
Like he's like one of the only characters with darker skin, and his whole thing was like, we just need to like open up the borders between the brown people country and the white people country, and racism will be solved. That's the whole problem, is that they just won't let people cross the border. And I'm just like, who the fuck wrote this? Do you think racism is gonna be solved by opening borders?
I mean, I also don't agree with closed borders.
Well, no, but it made it sound like a magic bullet. Like, it's so obvious. We just need to open the borders and then racism will be solved. You know what? I'm not even gonna try to shoot this thing. I'm just gonna
I think that's the right call. I think you shouldn't try to shoot it
some other way. I bet I'll do some weird puzzle where I fucking stick my hand in a dirty toilet and somehow the chains will come undone.
Yeah.
That's more like Silent Hill 2 speed. Sorry, you were saying about Metaphor. And the game's literally called Metaphor. Like,
it's called Metaphor, yeah.
Gag me with a spoon.
Hey, gag me with a spoon. Which we're
Sorry,
always
I'm
saying.
sure everyone watching this stream loves Metaphor and now hates us.
No, they get it. No, because the people watching this are people that love Silent Hill and also us playing Silent Hill. So they're used to it. Right?
Yeah, they've been beaten into submission.
The thing about it, I don't think that it's bad. I think that it's fine. But the thing that's so confusing to me is, like, why everyone loves it and why everyone is saying that it's, like, their best game and that it's, like, wow, like, a actually really good, like, sort of modern, JRPG or Atlas game. Like, if people talk about it like this big evolution, I'm like, every way that this is different than Persona 5 is bad.
The sweatiest,
except, of course, for...
Oh, sorry. Go. What are you saying?
For attacking weak enemies in the overworld.
Right. Yeah. The sweatiest chimes in for the first time to say, nah, game is mid, y'all are right. Love when someone chimes in for the first time to agree with us. That's their favorite thing in the world.
says also for the first time. I responded to it really positively, and also you're right. So yeah, I don't think that the game is impossible to like. I just am confused by the glowingly... Because, like, I played it, having heard people glowingly talking about it. Again, a game explicitly about, like, democracy and advocating for democracy. Did it shoot a bullet at you? Did it shoot a mouth bullet at you?
No, it threw up at me.
Oh, it looked like it was faster.
Oh, well, you know what?
And further.
It has spikes on its head. I wouldn't be surprised if, like, it vomits spikes somehow.
Yeah. I just wish that I had it before I bought it. I wish that I had heard people being like, by the way, this game has, like, extremely facile politics. Like, it is trying to make a political point with a pamphlet that they got at the State House.
Yeah. It was honestly, like, I was thinking, like, oh, people, the weirdest thing about it to me is I feel extremely old and grumpy when I, like, look at the art and I just go, like, I hate the way this looks. Goddamn kids with their weird heterochromia anime characters. What? What was that about?
JL Pollock says, did you turn the game volume up? The game audio seems way louder than earlier. When you're fighting, it starts to drown you out. I think that the other world is just louder.
It's just louder in here,
guys. I think
guys.
it's louder here.
That's really weird, actually.
I noticed in the
please,
when I was editing.
I have turned it down by 2 decibels. Please let me know if it is still too loud. I can turn it down even more.
I've noticed when I was editing, and as long as the game audio is on a separate track, it won't be a big deal.
Hey, wait a second. Why is there a wheelchair here?
Why is there a wheelchair?
Why would there just be this?
Why would there just be a wheelchair?
This is really funny. 3 pristine leather chairs pointed straight at this weird wheelchair.
Those are some nice chairs.
I want to sit in these chairs.
Yeah.
Can't push the wheelchair. Sorry, Cheryl is saying push the wheelchair from the corner.
Shaz says, I haven't played it yet, but I assume, like all JRPGs, it has an insane reverence for the monarchy. No, it's the opposite. It has an insane reverence for democracy. It's
ludicrous.
Well, again, but it has the reverence that it has is like for a platonic democracy that living in the year 2024 we know is bullshit. So it's like it just feels so out of touch where it's like it's talking about democracy like you might have talked about democracy
in
like,
what
in the transition from monarchy to democracy.
Do you just mean that, like, once we have democracy, we'll have no more problems? It will fix everything? Or, like, how do you mean exactly?
Well, hold on, I'll read this. Chad says, I guess it's a step up slightly, LOL. This is the thing. It doesn't feel like a step up because when you're just, like, being pro-monarchy, and it's like, this is a game about kings, and it's like, kings rule. It's like, awesome. Kings are sick. Like, at least that is a total fantasy.
Right.
But because it's trying to say something about reality, and because it's, like, pitching democracy as a force for good in a way that
You feel like it undermines democracy by
yes, it makes democracy seem like such a dumb idea because it seems like a game, because the game takes place in like a fantasy version of like the 1500s or whatever. Like, it's like a fantasy world, but it's also the past, but they also have magic. So it's like this weird kind of past steampunk, like magic. It's like magic punk, medieval magic punk.
I knew I shouldn't do it, but I had to do it.
Yeah, you had to try. So it's commenting on democracy the way that you might if you were from 700 years ago. But because of that, it feels so out of touch with any practical, meaningful commentary on democracy that it's like, and you're telling a country, the game it was made in Japan. It's also, I played it here in America. Everyone who I know that's played it is living in America or Canada.
Sorry, real quick. There's cool music in here. There's an interesting thing happening where there's no sound coming from the controller, but the controller is vibrating with the music as though it feels like it's putting out sound, but it's actually just vibrating.
Ooh.
I think, yeah. Like I'm holding up to my ear, I don't hear anything. But it feels like there is music playing in the controller, but it's actually just vibrating as if it was.
Cool. Yeah. So the game is like, by the way, there's a version of politics where we can vote for our own rulers, and the people can pick their leaders. And it's like, yeah, I know. And it's like, but wouldn't that be awesome? And I'm like looking around, no, it's not.
Like, honestly, kind of a mixed bag, all things considered.
Yeah, right. So it just has nothing really to say about anything. And so much of the game is about that. He carries around a little book. The main character carries around a little book, and carries around a little book that is like it's basically Thomas Aquinas's or no, not Thomas Aquinas, Thomas More's Utopia book. That's like literally what it is. And he's just like reading this like fake novel. They call it a novel, but it's what a novel used to be, which is just kind of a fiction. Where it's just like and people will vote for their own, and no one will be mad at each other. Everyone will get along because of blah blah blah. And it's like everybody keeps reading 2 paragraphs of this book, and it blows their mind. And it's like, really? This? So much of the game is about that. And then the rest of it is like, have you played an Atlas dungeon? Like, do you know about Atlas dungeons?
What?
Atlas, the video game developer.
Yeah, you're asking, like, have I played the dungeons in Persona? Yes.
Yes, so it's that. So, like, it's either everybody's reading about democracy
or
and it's blowing their mind, or you're playing a normal Atlas dungeon.
And now, when you're saying it's, like, blowing their minds, is there a bunch of people who are actually like, no, that sounds horrible, I love the monarchy? Because that was, that's definitely a thing that was around for a long
everybody
time.
That you're
Holy
showing
shit.
The book is illegal. Everybody that you're showing the book to... That scares you, huh?
Well, no, I mean, it scared me in a gameplay sense, because I was like, oh no, my health. But you know what? You're right. That was like, I was getting shot at by bullets.
Everyone that you're showing the book to, which is an outlawed book, basically, is your party member, and they read it and they're like, wow, this is inspiring me to fight with you alongside you. So nobody sees the book and thinks it's bad. Some people are kind of skeptical, but then it takes talking to them one more time for them to be like, you know what, I do aspire to the ideals of this book.
Yeah.
And it's like, the stuff in the book, it's all better, obviously, because it's a fake, romanticized version of democracy that doesn't exist. And it's the thing that they have, like that. It is like cartoonishly racist. Like there's like a whole racial caste system. It's insane. It's like it's like one of the most racist worlds in a video game ever. And it's like, of course, I would never say that the stuff in the book isn't better than what they have.
Right.
But the stuff is so cartoonishly bad Yeah, it just feels like. I guess a mean way to say it was that it feels like a waste of time.
Whoa! Hello.
Ooh, he missed somehow. You got lucky there. Garrus Mono says, I feel pretty confident they're going to subvert the Utopia book thing. I don't know.
I handled that expertly. And by that, I just mean I didn't take any damage.
I tweeted about hoping that they would subvert it. And that was like 10 hours into the game. And now I'm like almost 30 hours into the game. And they haven't done anything with the book except continue to do that. And when I tweeted about hoping they would do something with it, people responded being like, they don't really do anything. Yeah, so this is based on hearing that they don't do anything with the book.
This probably has more to do with just the fact that I kind of got like burnt out on Persona or something after a bit, or maybe it was more like I just didn't like Persona 5 that much.
Yeah.
But someone being like, seeing like just like the box art or whatever, and then hearing it's like fantasy world Persona that looks like this box art. I'm like, I don't really find that appealing, honestly. Like even if we're not talking about the politics.
I found Persona 5 Royal to be like a very flawed game that I mostly really enjoyed. I played Persona 4 in like 2010, and that's the only other Persona game that I played, or Atlas game at all. I never played any Shin Megami Tensei game. I played Persona 4, and then I played 5 Royal, and then I played Metaphor Refantazio, and I
was early on 3.
You were early on 3.
I burned the Japanese version on a DVD to play it on my
remember.
PS2.
I remember, in like pre-2010, I think. When did 4 come out? Did 4 come out in 2009 or something?
Fuck. 2008.
2008.
Fuck you.
I remember when the game was new, you were explaining it to me, and you were complaining that they don't shoot themselves in the head anymore.
Yeah, the best part, obviously.
And still true.
I can't fucking believe this. Good lord. Better be a health drink in here, too. Give me that, asshole.
Yeah, I don't love any of the characters. I mean, there's like a little bat guy that you meet. I like him, but otherwise, I don't really like any of the characters. I don't think the story's any good. I think that as far as turn-based combat goes, it's fun and good.
You're not much of a turn-based RPG person, right?
Right. I do think that the archetype system is obviously worse than the Persona system.
Oh no.
And
what's the archetype system?
Okay, so do you know Personas?
I've heard of those, yeah.
Okay, it's that, but you don't catch them and combine them. You just have one, but then everyone can swap to any of them once you unlock them. But there's a lot of grinding to like unlock the stuff that you want to use. Like, I feel halfway through the game and I don't feel like I'm halfway to unlocking all of the stuff I want. It doesn't have the same Persona enemies. All the enemies are new pretty much. I think that's great.
Right,
but also there's so many fewer of them than in a Persona game. So
yeah, there's a ton in those are all like every Shin Megami Tensei game has all those same
has the same enemies. Yeah. And it's great that they did a new thing, but it's weird that they did it seemed like they did 20% of what they normally would do.
People said for years that Shin Megami Tensei Strange Journey was like the best, like kind of the best one of those, or like a really good one that had like a good mature storyline, but I never really knew what exactly they meant by that. Come on, man. Fucking horse shit.
You gotta do 2 and then double dodge. That's how you get these guys. 2 and then double dodge.
Yeah. I think I'm just getting like so fatigued, like with fighting these things in this game that I'm just like I've stopped kind of trying.
Yeah, gotta try.
I think fatiguing is probably like the operative word for the combat in this game, and like, hey, I guess based on your perspective, you might say like that's kind of a good thing for a survival horror game in a way.
Yeah, I don't. I've talked to a lot of people about Silent Hill over the years, and one of the things that I hear a lot is about how, like, these games are meant to be punishing because Silent Hill or Resident Evil or, you know, whatever other silent or survival horror thing, like, it's meant to be bad and to make you feel bad. But I think that making you feel bad is different from, like, not enjoying the mechanical aspects of the game.
I think people say it's meant to be difficult so that it's challenging and scary.
Well, like, I think of a game like Darkest Dungeon, or even something like, what's the game where you freeze to death, the city builder? Frostpunk?
Frostpunk?
Yeah. You know, these are games that are hard, and they make you feel bad.
Yeah.
And I understand that, but I also think that, like, even in those games, you're still enjoying the mechanical, physical, the visual, physical communication that's happening to create gameplay.
Frostpunk was so good. I had been feeling like I wanted to go back and play more Frostpunk recently, and I was like, oh, I should just wait for 2. And then now that people are saying like 2's good, but it's like kind of really different from the first one and not the same thing, I'm kind of like, oh man.
You should try it at least, right?
Well, yeah, but it's also money.
No, that one's free. They chose to make it. They just said we're gonna make this one free.
Oh wow, I used all of the bullets.
Yeah. I saw that happening, and I chose
not to say anything about it.
Well, I had warned you so many times, and you seemed like you were kind of over me helping conserve your bullets.
That was before I was about to run out. Because, like, last time I looked at my bullets, I had, like, 20. I was like, that's so many.
I don't think I ever saw you have 20 bullets. I also
did.
don't think 20 is so many.
I had, like, 26 bullets.
I saw that you had 15 at some point, was what I saw.
It was probably 9 bullets after I had 24. I got that. That wheel.
Anyway, that's been happening a lot. I'm gonna cough. It's been happening a lot with video games recently for me. Where
I'm gonna turn this wheel, and that's what's gonna make the thing finally come down. Obviously. Turn it. Oh, sorry. I had to let go of X and push X again. Oh, I had to do it again. This is a tough one for him. I didn't even get to see an animation. Come on.
Hey, nice.
Just
got a piece.
One clock hand. It's not even 2 clock hands.
Wow. And 2 is what you need, I think. Minimum, right?
Okay, Cheryl says go put on the clock and see if it opens one of the doors, and that makes sense.
I've just been feeling recently a lot of, like, positive...
their doors aren't even in this building.
A lot of praise for games where I hear people talk about what they like about the game, and then I play the game and I'm like, oh, I don't like the thing you're saying that you like about it. I don't like about it. I wish I knew why you liked this. That's what I want more from people when I'm like listening to people talk about games. Is like, why do you like this? What about this is likable? I'm not seeing it. I don't know what to say about this. I don't know. Have you been liking games recently? What kind of games are you liking?
Have I been liking games?
While you think about that, I'll say it's not only in that direction. There's also like the other direction of I played Star Wars Outlaws, a game that I was totally prepared to not like because it's Ubisoft and it's recent Star Wars stuff. And I was like, I don't love it, but I'm like, this is pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm having fun with this. Everybody was saying they didn't like this. Why didn't you like this? Like, it happens in both directions. I just feel totally out of touch with everybody's opinions on games.
I think the only negative stuff I heard about that was like technical issues.
Oh, there were some technical issues. No, I heard a lot of people saying it wasn't fun. And I have my own complaints, I had a really, really rough time with some early stealth stuff where I felt the encounter design was really bad. And I actually looked the other day, and in the most recent 2 updates, they did like a ton of addressing specifically stealth encounters. Like they changed enemy positions and enemy amounts and stuff like that. And I was like, oh, that's exactly what I said was wrong. That's great.
Cool.